Hi guys, and welcome to prediction week 8, coming a bit later today. Had a busy day at work. So we start with the 12:30 kick-off tomorrow, which is Brighton versus Tottenham. Obviously Tottenham getting absolutely slapped to Bayern Munich at home on Wednesday night, 7-2. Was it Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday night actually, 7-2. Serge Gnabry with 4 goals, so doing Arsenal a favour there. I'm going to go. It's not going to be a comfortable win, but I'm going to get Tottenham to bounce back this weekend. I'm going to go Brighton 1, Tottenham 2. Onto the 3 o'clock kickoffs, we have Norwich versus Aston Villa. I'm going to go for a comfortable win for Norwich. I think I've seen enough of them this season to be confident of giving them a comfortable win, and I've seen enough of Villa to think that at this moment in time they can't seem to be able to hold on to a result. So I'm going to go Norwich 3, Aston Villa 1. We have Watford versus Sheffield United, 2 teams that are struggling at the moment. So I'm going to go Watford 0, Sheffield United 0. We then have Burnley versus Everton. Again, this could be quite a good, tight, tough game. I'm going to go Burnley 1, Everton 1. Now I've gone for a lively game in the next one. We have Liverpool versus Leicester. I think this is going to be really good. I'm a bit disappointed that this game didn't find itself, on Sky Sports or BT. I think that was definitely worthy. This next game is definitely worthy. Of being on telly. Liverpool. We know that they're hunting for their first title in like 29 years, and if they can't win it this year, then I don't think they ever will. Leicester, they're having a really, really good season so far. A lot of people are topping them to finish in the top 6, maybe even the top 4. I don't think they're good enough to finish in the top 4. But they're definitely good enough to finish in the top 6. And I actually feel that Leicester are having the season that Wolves had last season. So I'm going to go for a lively game in this one. It is at Anfield. I'm going to go Liverpool 3, Leicester 2. And for a neutral point of view, I really, really hope that's the case. I know it's not on Sky or BT, but for a neutral it can be really good to watch on Match Today maybe. There's loads of goals and it's a really entertaining game, so I hope so in the neutral point of view that's a really, really good lively game. At 5:30 we have West Ham versus Crystal Palace, a bit of a derby there. Again, I'm going to go for West Ham to nick it, just because they're at home. I'm going to go West Ham 2, Crystal Palace 1. Onto the Sunday kickoffs, we have 3 2 o'clock kickoffs. We start with Southampton versus Chelsea. Again, this could be quite a tough test for Chelsea. Chelsea's starting to get into it a little bit now, starting to get a couple of results. I do think Southampton will cause them problems, but I'm going to go Chelsea to nick it. I'm going to go Southampton 1, Chelsea 2. The second 2 o'clock kickoff is Manchester City versus Wolves. Again, Wolves not quite having the season they had last year, struggling a little bit. It was always going to be hard to maintain that. I'm going to go for a comfortable win for Manchester City. I'm going to go Manchester City 2, Wolves 0. And the third 2 o'clock kickoff is Arsenal versus Bournemouth. Not quite sure how to make of the game on Monday night against Manchester United. I thought we had the better chances, but all in all, I thought a draw was probably the fair result because no either side really went for it. I have no idea why Unai Emery went 3 defensive midfielders, at Old Trafford. They're a park in the bus Manchester United team. They don't really attack. They don't have many shots on target, and I don't think they had not even one shot on target yesterday in the Europa League game. Why on earth? I know you've got to be a little bit precautious, but why are you going with 3 defensive midfielders against a poor, low in confidence Manchester United team? Why didn't we just go all out in attack? Put 1 defensive midfielder in there, and we could have maybe got a better result. But I suppose, on the other hand, we haven't got a great record at Old Trafford. We could have done, we could have gone with. We're playing attacking and then got slapped. I don't think we would have, but we could have. But yeah, it wasn't a great game. But Arsenal winning 4-0 yesterday seem to be doing quite well in the League Cup and the Europa League, but when it comes to the Premier League, we seem to be struggling a little bit. I don't like the fact that Granit Xhaka is the captain. Did he duck? Did he not duck? At this moment in time, I really don't care anymore. I'm just there's players in that team where I just think you should be nowhere near this squad, let alone flipping starting 11. And Granit Xhaka's definitely one of them. I just don't really rate the guy at all. I want a nice, comfortable win going into an international break. I think it's international break next week. Yeah, I might have been a bit crazy going for this result and a bit optimistic. But I want to go for a nice comfortable win for Arsenal. I'm going to go Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 1. It's probably going to be something completely different, and I'll probably be sitting here in 2 weeks' time saying, God, we were fucking lucky to get out of there. We've been winning 2-1 or bloody 1-1, whatever. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. And at 4:30, we have Newcastle versus Manchester United. What is going on at Manchester United? I know. Do you know something? You could practically just. I could practically just put what I put in last week's video onto this week's video, and then next week's video, what I've said today, into next week's video. I seem to be saying the same thing every single week. Nothing's changing. As I said, no shot on target yesterday in their Europa League game. No shot on target whatsoever. And as I said, they weren't really great against Arsenal, to be fair. I think that's the most comfortablest I've ever actually seen an Arsenal defence go at Old Trafford. I think Arsenal were that comfortable. I really do. What can I say? What can I say? I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really needs to win this game on the weekend. Newcastle's not a great side, but nor is Manchester United. It doesn't matter if it's a penalty. It doesn't matter if it's a dodgy free kick, if it's deflection. Manchester United need to get out of there with 3 points. Or I think it's going to be very, 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 very soon that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be starting to see curtains. And, yeah. I'm going to give the win to Manchester United, but I have no idea, to be fair. No idea what the hell's going to happen. I'm going to go Newcastle 0, Manchester United 1. That could be something completely different. Probably will be. As I say, how much time to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? A lot of people are saying he's not exactly helping himself by keep going defensive. Why aren't you playing your players in the right position? Why is Paul Pogba playing as a defensive midfielder? Against Arsenal, Paul Pogba's playing as a defensive midfielder, so they had no creativity in their team. I don't know. There you go. Aren't you supposed to use players to your strength? And the same with Arsenal, to be fair. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see anyway. I think it's an international break next week. If not, I'll see you next week. But if it is an international break, I'll see you the week after that. Until then, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.